They were household names, idols on the silver screen whose faces were known and loved by millions. But in a town obsessed with eternal youth, they made a gamble to stop the clock. And the results were shocking. These are the stories of 10 stars whose quest for perfection led to plastic surgery procedures so dramatic. They didn't just change their faces, they altered their careers. Fame can be a fickle beast. In Hollywood, beauty is currency, and the pressure to stay young is immense. For decades, stars have turned to plastic surgery to hold onto their youth. For some, it's a subtle tweak, but for others, it becomes a slippery slope that ends in regret and ridicule. Today, we're counting down 10 stars who went under the knife and emerged nearly unrecognizable. From botched procedures to extreme transformations, these are the cautionary tales of what happens when the pursuit of perfection goes a little too far. Number 10. Kim Basinger. Coming in at number 10 is the stunning actress who once defined the term blonde bombshell, Kim Basinger. In the 80s and 90s, Basinger was a Hollywood icon, famous for films like 9.5 Weeks and as a Bond girl in Never Say Never Again. But as she aged, speculation grew about her surprisingly smooth appearance. While Basinger has never confirmed undergoing plastic surgery, and her daughter has denied it, surgeons have suggested she's likely had procedures like facelifts and Botox. Around 2015, her appearance seemed to change more dramatically, leading some in the media to call her unrecognizable. Her face appeared tighter and her features altered in a way that many felt detracted from her unique beauty. Though her career had already begun to slow, this noticeable transformation marked a shift in public perception, sparking a debate about her chasing youth in Hollywood. Number 9. Priscilla Presley. At number 9, we have a story that's less about vanity and more about being the victim of a cruel crime. Priscilla Presley, the former wife of Elvis Presley, was known for her elegant beauty. However, in the early 2000s, her face began to show signs of unnatural and lumpy cosmetic work. It was later revealed this was the result of a criminal deception. In 2003, Presley was treated by a man named Daniel Serrano, who claimed to be a doctor with miracle injections better than Botox. In reality, Serrano was an unlicensed nurse from Argentina, and he was injecting his clients not with FDA-approved fillers, but with industrial-grade silicone similar to what mechanics use for car parts. The results were devastating. The injections caused lumps, indentations, and even holes in the faces of his victims. Serrano was eventually imprisoned for his crimes, but the damage was done. Priscilla Presley was left with long-term tissue damage that required extensive corrective work, forever altering the face the world once knew. Number 8. Melanie Griffith. Our 8th entry is Melanie Griffith, an actress who was refreshingly candid about her journey with plastic surgery and the regret that followed. After rising to fame in films like Working Girl, Griffith's appearance began to change. She later admitted she didn't realize how much she had gone overboard until people started commenting on it. In a 2017 interview, she spoke about the hurt she felt from the criticism, saying, "No, I didn't realize until people started saying, 'Oh my God, what has she done?' I was so hurt." The backlash prompted her to see another doctor to dissolve the fillers she had gotten. Griffith also reflected on why her marriage to Antonio Banderas ended, suggesting it was partly because she felt stuck in her own life, for which she blames no one else. Her story, told in her own words, is a powerful look at how public scrutiny and the desire to look young can lead to both personal and professional challenges. Number 7. Joan Rivers. Next up is a woman who turned plastic surgery into a core part of her comedic identity, the legendary Joan Rivers. Rivers was famously open about her cosmetic procedures, once joking she'd had 739 of them. She admitted to multiple facelifts, a nose job, and regular Botox, defending her choices by saying, "We're in a society where looks count. And all the beautiful women lie and say I've done nothing, and that is so unfair." However, over time, the endless procedures transformed her features into what some considered a caricature of her former self. But here's the twist: it didn't end her career. Far from it. Her appearance became as much a topic of conversation as her jokes, and she leaned into it, becoming the host of the hit show Fashion Police, Joan remained a hilarious, hardworking, and incredibly successful force in comedy and television right up until her death at 81. Number 6. Mickey Rourke. Coming in at number 6 is Mickey Rourke, whose transformation is one of the most shocking in Hollywood history. In the 1980s, Rourke was a magnetic leading man, a heartthrob known for his rugged good looks in films like 9½ Weeks. But in 1991, he quit acting to return to his first love, professional boxing. His boxing career was brutal, leaving him with numerous injuries, including a broken nose and fractured cheekbones. When he tried to return to acting, he sought plastic surgery to repair the damage. However, as Rourke himself admitted, he went to the wrong guy. Botched reconstructive surgeries left his face nearly unrecognizable. For years, his altered appearance and a reputation for being difficult made it hard for him to land major roles. But then, in 2008, he made a celebrated comeback in The Wrestler, earning Golden Globe and BAFTA awards and an Oscar nomination, proving that talent can sometimes overcome anything. We're halfway through our list, and the stories only get more interesting from here. If you're finding this look at Hollywood compelling, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our future videos. Number 5. Michael Jackson. At number 5 is perhaps the most famous and complex case of physical transformation in history, the king of pop, Michael Jackson. The public discussion about the changes to his appearance began in the early 1980s. Jackson himself admitted to only two nose jobs and a chin cleft, attributing his dramatically lighter skin tone to the skin condition vitiligo, which causes a loss of pigmentation. Surgeons speculated he had many more procedures, but his 2009 autopsy report confirmed that vitiligo was widespread on his body and noted some scarring consistent with surgical procedures. While his changing appearance was undeniably controversial and sparked endless public debate, it never overshadowed his immense talent. Despite the intense media scrutiny, Michael Jackson remained a global superstar and a musical icon until his death. Number 4. Tara Reid. Number 4 on our list is Tara Reid, a star whose career was white hot in the late 90s before hitting a major speed bump. As the girl next door in the American Pie films, Reid was one of Hollywood's it girls. In 2004, she decided to get breast implants and body contouring, but the results were, in her words, disastrous. She later revealed, "My stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing. To make matters worse, she suffered a now infamous wardrobe malfunction on the red carpet that exposed the botched surgery to the world's media." The public ridicule was immense, and combined with a party girl image, her A-list career took a serious hit. But it didn't end there. Reid's career found a second life in the most unexpected way, the cult classic Sharknado franchise, proving that in Hollywood, you can't always predict a comeback. Number 3. Heidi Montag. At number 3 is a story that defines an era of reality TV excess. Heidi Montag, one of the stars of The Hills, made global headlines in 2010 when, at just 23 years old, she underwent 10 plastic surgery procedures in a single day. The marathon session included a brow lift, a nose job, chin reduction, and enlarging her breast implants. The transformation was shocking, and the public backlash was severe. Montag later expressed deep regret, admitting she was way over her head and that the recovery was so dangerous her heart briefly stopped. She said, "I died for a minute." The physical, financial, and career fallout was a major negative turning point in her life. Though she has remained a public figure in the reality TV world, she has since warned others, stating, "Cutting yourself up isn't something I'd recommend." Number 2. Jennifer Grey. Our runner-up is a star who felt like she lost her identity overnight. Jennifer Grey became America's sweetheart after starring as Baby in the 1987 classic, Dirty Dancing. But after hitting the peak of fame, she took advice from her mother and others who told her that her distinctive nose was holding her back. In the early 1990s, she underwent a rhinoplasty procedures. The result was so drastic that she became unrecognizable. She recalled attending a premiere shortly after, where her friend Michael Douglas failed to recognize her. Grey wrote in her memoir, "Overnight I lose my identity and my career." In her own words, "In the world's eyes, I was no longer me." While she has continued to work and even won Dancing with the Stars in 2010, she never again reached that same level of stardom, making her story a tragic example of how changing one defining feature can erase a hard-won identity. Number 1. Meg Ryan. And at number 1 is the star whose story perfectly encapsulates the theme of a major career shift, Meg Ryan. In the 1990s, she was the undisputed queen of romantic comedies. With films like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle, her girl-next-door charm made her America's sweetheart. But in the early 2000s, her appearance began to change, with fuller lips and cheeks that led to widespread speculation about fillers and facelifts. The fresh-faced star audiences adored was replaced by someone who looked jarringly different. This transformation, combined with a public scandal involving an affair with Russell Crowe and a desire to move into directing, all contributed to a dramatic shift in her career. Her reign as Hollywood's go-to rom-com lead came to an end. Meg Ryan's story is the ultimate cautionary tale, a reminder of how a combination of factors, both personal and professional, can alter a star's trajectory.